Hi, Charlene.
Hi.
Good to see you again. How has your week been?
It has been very stressful. My husband's still out of prison or out of jail, so I'm still very upset about that. But it hasn't been too bad.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You look good.
Oh, thank you.
That's good. So, what we're going to do in this session, of course, I gave you an assignment to do so we can kind of assess, do a self-assessment. Thank you for doing that. We'll go over that in just a moment. And the purpose of this meeting is that we're going to just kind of recap what we went over before, just see how you're utilizing the tools that we shared, see what's needed in future, and see if we can come up with a plan to get you moving in that right direction. You had some immediate concerns and you had some that we needed to plan on down the line. So we want to make sure we come up with a good plan for you to start moving forward in a quick manner, okay? Okay. So I wanted to just remind you first of our confidentiality form that you filled out last time. It simply stated that I may have, I can't say it is confidential, but I may have to share it with certain people through insurance companies, supervisors, peers at work, or the people we need to connect with to make sure we get you the right assistance, the right help that you need. So that's always there, that can be done. You agreed to that and you understood that. And then it talks about the purpose of this and that you have the right to eliminate this at any time. You can revoke this at any time. So you have a right to do that. So in this consent form, it just discloses everything that you have a right to do. Okay. So we've agreed on that. So let's talk about your planning session. I just kind of want to review what we went over last time. As I recall, we talked about your finances. You had immediate concerns about your finances. We were immediately able to, because with Brothers Keepers Foundation, we do assist in that way. Now with the amount of money you needed, because your rent was $990, you were already 3 months behind. But we did reach out immediately and communicated with your landlord so we can get an extension, so we can work with you on that. So what we're going to do today is, if you agree with this, as far as addressing your finances, we can look into other agencies along with the assistance we can do to get you in a place to where you're not worried about your rent. You know, we can get things satisfied, so you're ready to move on to your next step. Okay. Yes. So we're going to address your the areas that you were having difficulties, your finances. We want to look at your stressors. You know, you felt stressed. You had a lot on you. You even thought you were having a heart attack. So we want to look at those factors and see how we can help you address that. We also want to address your marriage, your relationship. You shared that your husband could get violent when he was drinking, and that he was in jail because of destruction of property and DUI, and that's a difficult situation to live in. So we're going to look at that and see if we can work together with some strategies on that, along with family conflict and a support group that you would need. So all of those areas we want to look at and come up with a plan together that you would be motivated to kind of follow through and get some help on how we can start addressing those needs and getting you where you need to be, along with the unemployment as well. That's a concern because we can get you help for now, but you got to look, how am I going to live next month and the next month, and how am I going to get on my feet? So even with not having a high school diploma, we can work on getting towards the GED. We can look at that. We can look at getting you placed somewhere so you'll have a starting point. Do you still feel really motivated to making a change and doing what you want to do?
I, especially since like my finances are kind of getting back on their feet with your assistance and the other assistances. I definitely feel like the next step would be to get my GED. That way I can get my foot in the door and get maybe a better, like get a job or some type of support,
Yes.
financial support.
Good. Because what we want to do is prioritize those things that you feel are most, what you need the most right now. We need to prioritize it so you can come up with a great plan on how to conquer each of these and get started working towards those goals, okay? And as far as all of this was evident in what you shared with me. So you shared with me about the eviction notices and about your cell phone being off and about your utilities being behind. You shared with me about your husband and those situations. So all of that I shared with you that we just agreed upon is what you shared with me in the last session. So we're going to look at, along with the planning session as well, we're going to look at your self-assessment. This self-assessment is about the exercises we talked about last time, which is for assertiveness. You know, this was about how assertive are you? Because one thing that you shared is that you don't really have a support system. You have a lot of relationships that are like with your father, with your mother passing and your father, you know, moving away. He didn't agree with your marriage, so you didn't have a relationship with him. So, and then communicating with your husband. You have to learn how, you would need to work on being true to yourself and standing in who you are and allow people to listen, but not telling them what they've done wrong, but how it makes you feel when they do certain things. So we want to talk about and do some of those exercises about assertiveness. How would you feel about that? Do you agree with that? How do you feel about that?
I do agree with that. I feel like the exercises are really beneficial, because they definitely like put me back and like bring me back down whenever I become, and like my anxiety and stuff picks up. So I do feel like they're very important and helpful.
Okay, so just remember when you're in that position where someone is over talking you or talking down to you or telling you about yourself and you're getting upset about it or you're feeling hurt about it, it's okay for you to say, I feel, and share with them how you feel and what's going on when you do this or say this. You know, you want to let them know how you feel. It's about your feelings and how you feel, so you are recognizing it. You're being honest about what you're feeling. You're not holding it in for you to become passive, for you to become hurt, so people don't have to feel like they can take advantage of you. So be mindful of that, of making sure you're able to state how you feel and not feel like the person you're blaming them for everything. You know, so continue using that. Continue working on those exercises. And you can give me an update when you come back. Just be mindful of that, and let's continue working on those assertiveness exercises, okay? Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited because that you're motivated to make a change and do these things, and we're going to prioritize it the way you said as well. So with our agency assistance and with the paper you filled out, we're going to be able to connect you with the CAC office, the Community Action Committee office, because they also, and there's forms they can fill out, and I will get that information for you. Those CAC offices help with rent, and they also help with your utilities. They have a low-income heating energy assistance program that they help with once a year. And that sounds like something you will qualify for. So I'm going to help you walk through that application so you can get that turned over to them. So we're going to work on getting that done today. We're going to make sure we get that done today to address your immediate need, because we worked out with your landlord and with the utility company to extend you until we were able to get this taken care of. So we're going to take care of that. Brothers Keepers, our agency can pay part of it, just not all of it. So that's why we're connecting you with these agencies as well. And you'll know where to go in the community in the future when you need immediate help, because life happens to all of us. And that'll give you a place to go for certain assistance. Another concern, or not a concern, a strategy, an option I wanted to give you, where you're living and where you're paying rent seems to be really high for rent. So there's also a community development company, in Knoxville called KCDC, Knoxville Community Development Community. And they assist on housing vouchers, or where you can get into public housing. So there's a list that you can go sign up on, so you can get into affordable housing. Or if your landlord agrees on it and you can use your voucher, it will help subsidize your rent. So they would pay part of it, but KCDC will charge you according to what you can pay according to your income. So that would definitely help without you paying $9.90 a month. So we're gonna connect you with them as well, so you can go there and get an appointment with them. And then also, another thing we wanted to address, is your unemployment and getting your GED. And I'm excited about that because we have a Tennessee Career Center. I've called them, so you'll be able to go over there immediately, or when you, to go over there and meet at the Tennessee Career Center, because they train adults with adult classes to help get your GED and to help you with those skills. I asked you prior about, you felt like you didn't have any skills. Do you recall that?
Yes.
You felt like you didn't have any skills, and so we want to find out what you're passionate about, the things you like to do. Anything you like to do, you can almost make a career out of it. So they're going to help you develop those skills in you, set up sessions so you can evaluate that while you're working on your GED. Plus, they can also find you a job that you would be qualified for even without your GED right now, to get income coming in immediately if you're willing to do that.
Okay.
It may be cleaning at a hotel, it may be cooking or waitressing or anything like that. Would you oppose any of jobs,
No,
those type jobs?
No, because I'm really just trying to get my foot in the door right now, so.
And if we can start with the Tennessee Career Center to start moving you towards that, getting that GED and placing you in a place to work, and then working on finding out what your passion and what your skills are, so you can perfect those techniques, then you can be able to find the job you want. So we're going to prioritize that and work on those things in the beginning, and that will be our planning session for this time. Any objections, anything that we're lacking? How do you feel about that planning session?
I feel like it's going to be very successful.
Okay.
It definitely has put me in the right path of
Okay.
where I want to go and where I want to be.
Okay. Well, we're going to make sure we connect you with all those agencies before you leave here. We can make sure your appointments are set up. You can follow up with them. I'm glad you got your phone on. We're going to get your rent and your utilities taken care of, so you won't have that burden on you. We're going to also, not having money, your concern was food and just livable things, but we also want you to sign up for what we call SNAP, which is food stamps, food vouchers, so you're able to get food and not be without the food as well. Okay? So, give me just a moment. So we've discussed the things that we're going to get implemented. You feeling pretty good about it? You feel motivated? So I'm also want you to fill out another survey. We want to see where you are when we meet again within a week or two. What would be best for you in a week?
Probably 2 weeks.
Okay. Let's say 2 weeks, let's meet again. That'll give you time to execute everything that we put in place, to meet at those particular places, to get signed up on your list, to sign up for the assistance, so you'll know where to go next time. And definitely get over to the Career Center today if you can, so we can get started on that. Because that's going to be more of a long-term plan for you. So we want to get you as you're motivated now. We want to keep you on that track to make sure you get these things accomplished. And I feel confident in it. How do you feel about everything?
Very confident and ready to get it on the roll.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. And then if you can take this survey with you, and the next time we meet, if you have that completed and get everything executed, we'll be ready for our next step.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.